Hello, class 9. This is your third chapter, Iswaran, the storyteller, in your book Moments. The story is written by R.K. Lakshman. He was an Indian cartoonist, illustrator, and humorist. He is best known for his creation. He was born on 24th October 1921. Alright, so that is there about the author. As you can get by the title, here we will study about Iswaran. He is the main character and he is the cook of Mahendra. He is our second main character in this story. So before starting the story, I want to give you a brief introduction to the lesson. The title of this chapter, Iswaran, the storyteller, tells us that this story is about Iswaran. He is called the storyteller because as storytelling is an art, he is good at it. Iswaran uses special effects, does voice modulation, uses his body language to make the story realistic so that the listener is Mahendra. He gets attracted and captivated in this story. The writer wants to highlight this quality of Iswaran, that he was so good at telling stories that they appeared to be real, the way he used to tell the story. His stories were a source of entertainment for Mahendra. Alright. Now let's start reading. I will read one paragraph and then I will tell you the explanation of that paragraph. Alright. Now let's start reading this story. The story was narrated by Ganesh by a young man, Mahendra by name. He was a junior supervisor in a firm which offered on hire supervisors at various types of construction sites, factories, bridges, dams, and so on. Mahendra's job was to keep an eye on the activities at the work site. He had to keep moving from place to place every now and then as ordered by his head office, from a coal mining area to a railway bridge construction site, from thereafter a few months to a chemical plant which was coming up somewhere. So who is a supervisor? Mahendra is a supervisor. And what does this word supervisor mean? A person whose job is to check the work of all the other people. So I have read this first paragraph. Now I will tell you the explanation of this. Here in this paragraph, Mahendra narrated a story about his cook Iswaran to Ganesh. You can see here it is mentioned in the first line. So he narrated the story of Iswaran to Ganesh. Mahendra worked as a junior supervisor in a company which provided junior supervisors to various construction companies on rent. Alright, so he works there. He got posted at different sites like factories, bridges, and dams which were under construction. Mahendra's work was to keep an eye, to check every worker who all are working in that site. He had to change places often and he worked at various places like coal mines, railway bridge construction sites, and the construction site of a chemical plant. So these many places he has worked. And here in this paragraph he is about to tell a story to Ganesh about his cook Iswaran. So that is there in this first paragraph. I hope this is clear to you all. Now let's see the next paragraph. Now see, I'm reading the first paragraph that is given here. He was a bachelor, his needs were simple, and he was able to adjust himself to all kinds of odd conditions, whether it was an ill equipped circuit house or makeshift canvas tent in the middle of a stone quarry. But one asset he had was his cook Iswaran. The cook was quite attached to Mahendra and followed him uncomplainingly. He was posted. He cooked for Mahendra, washed his clothes, and chatted away with his master at night. He could weave out endless stories and anecdotes on varied subject. Alright, so I have read this first paragraph that is given here. Now I am going to tell you the meaning here. As Mahendra was unmarried, it's mentioned he was bachelor, so he was unmarried. He did not have a family. He was able to live in these temporary quarters provided at the construction sites. So in those construction site, you won't get a proper house. They just give you some temporary quarters. He adjusted well. He can adjust well in those circuit house, which even did not provide him basic amenities, or even the tents, which were temporary in nature. But Mahendra had an advantage. And what is that advantage? That he was accompanied by his cook. He was accompanied. Every time he moves, he was accompanied by his cook, Iswaran. Iswaran was very close to Mahendra and accompanied him everywhere. He did not complain. Who didn't complain? Iswaran. He never complained about the tough conditions in which he had to live. He cooked food for him, washed his clothes, and gave him company, talking to him at night. Iswaran, he had a quality, and what is that quality? That he was very good at telling stories, and he entertained Mahendra with his stories which were based on different subjects. So he used to do every possible work for Mahendra. He was not just a cook for him. He washed his clothes, he chatted with him, and he even was a best company that he can have. He was like a friend to him. All right. So this much is there in this paragraph. Now let's read the next paragraph. Iswaran also had an amazing capacity to produce vegetables and cooking ingredients seemingly out of nowhere in the middle of a desolate landscape with no shop visible for miles around. He would miraculously conjure up the most delicious dishes made with fresh vegetables within an hour or arriving at the zinc sheet shelter at the new workplace. Now I will tell you the explanation. Mahendra tells Ganesh, because he is telling him the story. So now he tells Ganesh that Iswaran was a great cook. Whenever they shifted to a new location, he would gather all the vegetables and other ingredients required by him to cook in no time. As they lived at places which was not inhabited by many people, means desolate, no one is there, in temporary shelters. I told you that they used to get temporary quarters, and that too, that were made up of roofs. The roof were made up of metallic sheets. It seems as if he would do some magic and gather all the ingredients out of nowhere. So it seems like he has some magical power by which he just gather every possible thing that is required by him to cook food. That too in no time. So it seems like he has some magic. It just shows that how great cook he was and how much he can adjust in any new location. And he was a very dedicated cook. That is why he can arrange everything, even if he is shifted to a new location. Alright, I hope this paragraph is clear. Now I am going to read the next paragraph. Mahendra would be up early in the morning and leave for work after breakfast, carrying some prepared food with him. Meanwhile, Iswaran would tidy up the shed, wash the clothes, and have a leisurely bath. Pouring several buckets of water over his head, muttered a prayer all the while. It would be lunchtime by then. After eating, he would read for a while before dozing off. The book was usually some popular Tamil thriller running of 200 pages. Its imaginative descriptions and narrative flourishes would hold Iswaran in thrall. Dozing off, you have seen here this word dozing off. It's given here. Dozing off, it means falling asleep. And this word thrall means the state of being in someone's power. All right. Now see what is being said here. Mahendra, he would wake up early in the morning. Why he wake up early in the morning? Because he has to go for work. He get up early and get ready and leave for work after eating his breakfast. He would carry his lunch along with him. After he left, Iswaran would clean their living place where they used to live, that temporary quarters. He used to clean them and wash Mahendra's clothes and have a nice bath. He would take many buckets of water and pour water on his head while mumbling a prayer. Usually he used to take bath while saying a prayer. After that, he would eat his lunch and read his favorite book in Tamil language. Iswaran would get carried away with the details and descriptions given in the books that he read. Then he would go to sleep. So after reading these books, he get so much into the details and description that it becomes real for him. He just go with the flow of that story. And because he has the habit of reading so much, that is why he could become a very good storyteller. All right. See, now I'm going to read the last paragraph that is given here on this page. His own descriptions were greatly influenced by the Tamil authors that he read. When he was narrating even the smallest of incidents, he would try to work in suspense and a surprise ending into the account. For example, instead of saying that he had come across an uprooted tree on the highway, he would say, with eyebrows suitable arched and hands held out in a dramatic gesture, the road was deserted and I was all alone. Suddenly I spotted something that looked like an enormous bushy beast lying sprawled across the road. I was half inclined to turn and go back, but as I came closer, I saw that it was a fallen tree with its dry branches spread out. Mahendra would stretch himself back in the canvas chair and listen to Iswaran's tales uncritically. As now I'm going to tell you the description here, what is given here in this paragraph. As Iswaran reads stories with details, detailed description he used to, I told you in the last paragraph that he used to read stories with details. He narrated them in the same way. Mahendra recollects that he would narrate even a small incident with a lot of suspense and surprise, which made it very interesting for the listeners. Of course, we all like stories that is full of surprise and suspense. So same is for Mahendra. And what is the quality of Iswaran? That he could narrate even a small incident with a lot of suspense and surprise. Then he gives an example that instead of saying that he was walking down the highway and he came across a tree which had broken down and fallen on the road, what Iswaran said that, and how he said, Iswaran would use his facial expression and bodily gesture to narrate it. Like he uses his facial expression and his body gesture to narrate it. He used to make it full of suspense. He would say that the road was empty and he was all alone. This would create suspense in the listener's mind because we would think what is going to happen now. Then he would say that all of a sudden he saw a huge beast was lying across the road. Then as he walked ahead, his mind was telling him to turn and go back. As he reached closer, he saw that it was a tree that had fallen and was lying on the road. The branches of the tree had spread out and seemed as if it was a huge beast. Mahendra says that this talent of Iswaran made the simple story very interesting and captivated him. Like there are certain stories which just capture you till you hear everything, even the ending. You just stay there and see what is going to happen. So Iswaran make every story like that. Although he knew that some of the stories were not true, but the way in which Iswaran narrated them was so interesting that Mahendra would not say anything and listen to them quietly. He knew. Who knew? Mahendra. He knew that sometimes Iswaran is just telling lie. Nothing like that happened. But still the way he used to tell him it was very interesting as he was the only source of entertainment. In those temporary quarter, he cannot carry televisions and all these things, all the source of entertainment. So Iswaran was entertainment for him. His stories were the only source of entertainment in his life. All right. So in this paragraph, we came to know the quality, that hidden quality, or you can say the talent of Iswaran, by which he can make any story very interesting. All right. So I am doing this video till here. In the next video, I will continue with this chapter. Till then, you can read till this paragraph that is given on page number 13. Bye and take care.